Okay, hello. Welcome to the iVow series channel. And you know what? My name is Shiko Kaitani, partnering up with iVow to actually start off this brand new segment by an amazing man, eMManuEL G. This is Ask eMManuEL G. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have this brand new segment on YouTube called Ask eMManuEL G. Why don't you tell us a little bit as to what drove you, to actually start this?
Well, here's what I think. Here's what I feel. And this is what I've seen and what I've experienced.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who have all these questions about relationships.
Yeah.
We're getting into relationships. We're struggling in the relationships. They're failing.
Yeah.
Some are successful, but for the most part, we're getting so much grief. So people want to know, what do I need to do right? And what do I need to do so that I can have a successful relationship?
Okay.
So that's why we started this Ask eMManuEL G.
Yeah.
For the most part, our modern culture,
Yeah.
we are not raised to be husbands or raised to be wives or raised to, be in relationships.
Yeah.
For the most part, we have been raised by our gadgets and
Yeah.
TV and media and stuff. So a lot of people don't know what it means to have a strong relationship.
So
that's why
we've got too much information out there that's misleading us.
that's
so to
true.
speak.
That's true. Well, there's too much information.
Yeah.
And we're not necessarily absorbing the right information that we need
Yeah.
to be successful.
Okay.
So we are focused on so many things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So because this is Ask eMManuEL G, we're actually asking you to ask us the questions.
That's right.
And so why don't you start off by giving them the social media handles that people can start throwing their questions and their concerns. And then, as we continue with the series, we'll start, looking at some of those letters or those emails coming through your DM.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So on Instagram, we're at What I Vow. That's at What I Vow. And on Facebook, I Vow. And on Twitter, at What I Vow. So you can DM us on any one of those social media handles. And also, on YouTube, you can ask the questions in the comments. And as we read them, we will get to them and respond to them.
Super.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our very first episode, interestingly enough, we had been discussing some of the topics that would probably bring up on this channel, but we actually have one Ken who is a huge fan of eMManuEL G, who went on to ask a question that we also asked ourselves, and we said, by the way, a lot of people struggle with knowing who the one is and how to find the one. That I'm dating, fine, perhaps we're doing this 2-3 years. How are they gonna know you're the one?
How are you going to know?
Yeah.
Wow, that's like the most difficult question to respond to.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if there is a formula to know if this person is the one. In fact, allow me to burst a bubble.
Yeah.
There is no one.
Oh.
The special one.
Oh.
Yes. I don't believe there is the one.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that you grow into each other. And, it's in me learning my person's desires and things and what would make them happy that, I begin to grow in that and try to fulfill their needs in as much as they're doing the same for me.
Yeah.
So the one, I believe anybody can be the one. You just have to be willing to do the work.
Yeah.
And just be compatible and realize that, we can live together, serve each other, so that we can make this thing work.
Okay. So then here comes the question that there has to be time involved. It can't be like I met you today and then by January or February I'm like, you're the one. Because how do we end up being compatible? Unless we spend time.
Well, there are a couple of things I normally share with people. Which I advise them to think through. The first one, which I tell women and men, this person that you've met, this person that you're talking to, first of all, do you know what their purpose is?
Oh, wow.
What is their purpose? Because I strongly believe
Yeah.
that when you both are aligned in the point of purpose
Yeah.
and you're living for something greater,
Right.
then you will work towards that something greater, and you will have a tighter relationship as a result of that. So that's the first thing I say. Think up through purpose.
Yeah.
The second thing is, what are their values?
Good one.
Yeah, what are their values?
Yeah,
What do they
yeah.
believe in? What do they,
Yeah.
how do they operate on
Yeah.
a day-to-day basis? How did they grow up?
Yeah.
These things have to align, and you have to be able to say that I can stand those values, or I can live with those values,
Right.
or those values align with what I believe in. Now, notice I've not even gotten to that.
Yeah.
Ask, check whether how hot they are,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
All that changes. I'm not the same as I was when I was 20 years old. Things have changed.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Things change. They say gravity makes things go south. And we laugh about it now, but it's so true. So you want to be able to, when
Yeah.
things change,
It's true.
what are we holding on to?
Absolutely.
What are the deep things that we're holding on to?
Yeah.
So purpose is one, value is one. I strongly believe religion is very
And it's not because of your
spirituality.
pastoral
And it's not
background.
because of
Yeah.
my pastoral background.
Yeah.
It's just, for example, if a Muslim and a Christian came together,
Yeah.
so what constitution are we subscribing to? Because we are both strong in our beliefs with God.
Yeah.
So if there's clashes, what values are we?
Absolutely. There's a confusion there.
There's a confusion there.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, especially with this generation, probably even, let me not say this because like we're out of it, but
Yeah.
growing up, you would find that when you're young, wild and free, we'll say that
Yeah.
those things really don't matter because
Yeah.
it's like, Mom, Dad,
Yeah.
I love him, she loves me.
Yeah.
So you know what, we're gonna do this. And we
Yeah.
still have people till this day
Yeah.
who are battling their parents
Yeah.
because they're from two different backgrounds,
Yeah.
different religions.
Yeah.
And it's now they're even kids
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. We get those feelings, those fuzzy, warm, fuzzy
Yeah.
feelings, and we allow them to rule over, right thinking or,
Logic. Yeah.
And it gets us in trouble. It really does get us in trouble.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in my office, I do marriage counseling. So in my office, I get people who are totally different. And
Yeah.
these issues, the ones that I'm talking about, are the main things
Right.
that people come fighting about.
Right, because it's like,
Yeah.
no, but you know what? I'm the man of the house. So
Yeah.
I'm Muslim, so the kids have to be Muslim.
Yeah.
And then the lady will say, no,
Yeah.
but I'm Christian and
Yeah.
I want them to grow up Catholic or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. But
Wow.
also the thing is, in your relationship, you want to be able to grow with your person.
Okay.
Growing together.
Yeah.
So then what are you subscribing to that you agree to, that you're growing together in? Whether it's in fact in spirituality.
Yeah.
If we go to church, it's that whole same thing. Even we could be Christians,
Yeah.
but we are going to two different churches.
Right.
The other things that I normally say is look at somebody who's willing to learn
Right.
and willing to transform to be better. I think often we are filled with pride sometimes.
Right.
And we think we know it all. We think we have reached.
Yeah.
And sometimes we are not willing to be the best us. Unfortunately, we can be the best us in our careers,
Yeah.
but not in our relationship.
Oh, which is sad.
We have this thing that, and I constantly hear this.
Yeah.
You need to accept me for who I am.
This is a couple.
Yeah.
He doesn't accept me the way I am. Okay.
Yeah. You need to accept me for who I am.
Yeah.
I think that's fantastic, and we accept each other. And I believe you need to accept somebody for who they are.
Right.
However,
Yeah.
you also need to learn that you have to be able to accommodate the other person.
Yeah. It's so interesting you say that because there are people today who are single
Yeah.
who keep saying, I can't find anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys will say there are no ladies out there. Hey, the chiles of today are this and this and that.
Yeah.
Chicks, on the other hand, will say there are no men out there.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, we go ahead and say, no, he has to be like this. He has to do that. And he has to like me the way I am.
Yeah.
And then you only for you to realize that, oh, wait, so it's actually me.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
So single people need to keep this in mind.
They need to keep this in mind. I remember there was a time we were shooting for your channel.
Yeah.
And I said, it's important for me to be the one before I meet the one.
Yeah.
So how am I being the one? Am I being accommodative? Am I being, all whatever values that you desire the other person to be? Am I being these values that will be attractive to this other person to want me?
Yeah.
A lot of us have a stinky attitude. We're very selfish, self-centered.
Yeah.
So we constantly can't even consider the other person in order for us to have some kind of relationship.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So even as we're winding down on this particular episode, I'm just going to ask this question. Can you date you?
Yeah.
That's what he's trying to say in a nutshell. Can you date you? If you can't even stand yourself, then I think maybe that's a huge sign.
It is, by the way. It is. It is.
If you think about yourself and figure out what you do from day to day, and you think, okay, that's not nice. Okay, maybe I need to improve on that. Then, so how do you expect other people to?
Let me tell you, there's nothing like marriage that showed me how selfish and self-centered I was.
Really?
I thought I was the most selfless, kind person ever.
Yeah.
I did, by the way. I believed it with everything in me.
Yeah.
I was like, this woman can't tell me I'm kind. I have given my entire paycheck to somebody to pay their rent. I've given, I'm so selfless.
Yeah.
The moment I got into marriage, I realized how selfish I am.
Yeah.
The toothpaste. I was like, woman, this goes from the bottom. Why are you pressing from the middle?
Yeah.
I'm just like, you don't know how to do this. Weren't you taught?
Yeah.
And I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. Calm down. Yeah. You're like, slow down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's important to realize that love in itself, and even the definitions that are there, and according to even what God desired in the Bible, is very, very selfless.
Yeah.
It actually considers the other person above the self. So it's important to note that.
Yeah.
And
So we take these words for granted. Love is kind.
Love is patient.
Love is
like
you actually have to be able to practice that.
Oh yes.
Be kind to the other person.
Yes.
Be patient with the other person.
Yes.
That's what love is.
That's what love is.
Wow. It's not just a feeling.
It's not a feeling. Every married couple who has been married at least 2 or 3 years will tell you that feeling, it disappeared.
Right.
They say within the first 2 years that feeling, it goes. But for some, it's even earlier. Life happens. And
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's wind up and leave it there for our very first episode. Ken, we hope that we actually answered your question. And keep those coming, because we are asking eMManuEL G what you need to know about relationships. Remember, this is the iVow channel, and we are still looking out for you on social media. So until the next time.